It was normal for me to wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. hearing my mom in pain. When I was really young, like 9 or 10 years old, we were at a red light in America, and this girl behind us, she's going 60 miles an hour. I'm with my family. She accelerates. She rear ends her car. My mom ends up getting like her back discs get fractured, and we can't like afford to pay for her surgery. We pretty much had no money left over. I'm some kid from Pakistan that doesn't deserve anything. They're supposed to be getting beaten up right now. And I'm like, I have people watching my stuff. What if I had an automation that could just like log my hours? That ended up being actually our most profitable year. I think it'll be worth like $150 million.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bad Marketing Podcast. Today we got two special guests today, the CMO and the co-founder of Poppy.AI. In a world where there's so many different AI platforms, as a marketing company, we got to test so many of them. This has been the one that's been at the forefront of a lot of the stuff we do for the local business side of our marketing campaigns. I got Trent with me here, who's our head of all local marketing. He's the one who's kind of spearheading the entire Poppy.AI experience. We got the co-founder, CMO in town. Thanks so much for flying in, guys. If you guys want to give a quick intros on yourself, just so everyone knows who you are, and we'll jump right in.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, my name is Sawyer. I'm the head of marketing for Poppy.AI.
Amazing. I'm Qazi, co-founder of Poppy.
Dude, thanks so much for flying. Where'd you guys fly in from, by the way?
Just flew in from LA. We missed our first flight.
No way.
Yeah.
It was at night, and then we found the second flight, and then we made it like literally right on the dot. We came straight from the airport.
That's crazy. I mean, that's a long ass flight too.
Yeah.
Cross country. Well, thanks for coming out, dude. Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
You guys have built some obviously incredible software. We've been jamming kind of off camera here for a bit beforehand. We did record it, just so you guys know.
I thought it was a podcast, actually.
No. I knew it wasn't. I was just letting you guys riff because
I was like, we needed an intro. I'm like, it's okay. I'm a content creator. I'll do that later.
It was just good content. I was like, just make sure you're recording, and then we'll deal with the podcast later. But want to get into the background. Obviously, like, you guys are building a pretty sick platform. Want to get in the background of like what you did before this, because usually people see businesses like this, like, holy fuck, like, these guys started Poppy.AI. They're so young. Look at all the shit they're doing. Thousands of people on the platform, but they don't see like that you probably had failed businesses before this. You probably had other businesses that succeeded, that took you a ton of time, learned a lot of experience. So like, take us back before Poppy.AI. You're 31 now. So like, when you were in your early 20s, what were you doing to like make money? What kind of skills were you learning? And then let's take it to like how we got here.
Amazing. So I started with learning coding. That's how I started my career very early on, because my brother had told me
you're brown.
Brown, of course.
Of course.
Mainly it was because I wanted to do something that made a lot of money, because I grew up, I love my mom. I was actually telling you this.
Yeah, it was a good
right
combo
before
on the flight.
we got here. And when I was really young, like 9 or 10 years old, we were at a red light in America. We just came from Pakistan. And this girl behind us, she's going 60 miles an hour. I'm with my family, parents. And instead of stopping, she accelerates because she doesn't realize. She rear ends her car. My brothers are in the car. My dad is in the car. My mom's in the car. And
this is like when you first got to America?
First got to America. And it was a really crazy crash. We get out. Luckily, everybody else is fine. My mom starts complaining. She's feeling something in her back. We find out the girl was drunk,
Oh shit.
which is actually why
Welcome to America.
Yeah, which is why I don't drink. And then when...
That's literally the reason you don't drink?
Yeah.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You should consider drinking and not driving.
That's funny. Yeah. Later on, it just became a thing. I'm like, can I just go
like,
without drinking?
How long can I go?
Yeah, because I just didn't want, like, if I'm at a party or having fun, I'm like, that's actually fun if I can be life of the party without drinking. So it kind of just became like an internal thing.
Yeah.
So anyways, my mom ends up getting like her L1 and L2, like her back discs get fractured, and it leads to arthritis. All these diseases, problems. She gets overweight because she can't like work out easily or anything like that. And my dad is like working 2 jobs, a security guard. They're working their ass off, and we can't like afford to pay for her surgery. We can't take care of her. I have to go to Cook County Hospital in Chicago and sit next to some random fucking homeless guy for 20 hours with my mom, and my mom isn't like screaming in pain, and they can't take her in. And that was like normal. Like, that was normal. I was a little kid, so I didn't really think much of it. It was normal for me to wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. hearing my mom in pain, go upstairs, like help her out. And then just like, I'll be massaging her or something, and then she'll fall asleep and I'll be like so sleepy and come downstairs. And for me, it was just like really frustrating. I'm like, we're in America, we're paying citizens, we're doing everything that we can, yet we can't take care of, like, I can't take care of my mom. Like, what the fuck is the point of me being alive?
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just, what can I do? At that point, it was like, what makes money so I don't actually have to live through that?
This is like when? 2015, 14?
This is like 2000. I was 10 at the time or something like that. So this was like early 2005 or something, 2006, something like that. So I just knew I had to do something different. And then at 15 or 16, I was on a call with my brother. I was like, what makes money? And he's like, dude, you should do this thing called data science or programming. And I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. So I started teaching myself coding. And what happened is I ended up getting fascinated by coding. I thought it was like, I started just for money. And then later I actually started doing it. And I'm like, I actually love this. Because I had gone into chess and I became competitive in chess. I'm like top 1% in the world in chess.
Really? What's your ranking?
ELO is like 2,000 to 2,200.
Oh, solid. You're a killer.
Yeah. So I was like getting good at chess, and so I would teach chess.
2,200 ELO is fucking high.
Yeah. So I would go to places to teach kids chess.
Yeah.
So I would coach and I would drive there. But like, for example, what I hated was I would always have to come back, go to this Google sheet that I had and log how many hours I worked with this kid, and then how much I have to charge their parents.
Yeah.
To do that every time, it was really annoying. So I started doing little things to make my life easier. I'm like, well, what if I go there? I know the area. What if I had an automation that could just like log my hours, because it would determine like I'm at their home. And then so it would log when I entered their home. And when I would leave, it would log when I exited their home. And then using the time of how long I was there for, it would automatically calculate my invoices. And I was just using like if this, then that, IFTTT, which was like popular before Zapier was. And I would use that, and I put together these automations. So I started getting into programming and just finding a lot of like passion in it. And then I was going to college and started teaching programming.
What'd you go for?
I went for computer science.
Okay.
And I was like doing computer science, and I just felt like I was really stupid because everybody was learning so fast. And whenever I would learn, I'm like, these things just don't register in my brain. Like, and I just was sure. I'm like, it must be because I'm like dumb school-wise. Because I had missed a lot of school. I went to a religious school for 4 years to memorize the Quran.
Yeah.
And for all those years, I never had any like worldly education.
Yeah.
So math, geography, all of
Oh,
it.
they didn't teach any of that.
None
Just
of that.
Straight religion.
So basically I went from first grade to like high school. So I missed everything in between.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So I didn't know.
But you were self-learning on your own, it sounds like.
Yes. So like, for example, in high school, when the teacher told me like, turn in an essay, I turned in an essay. It was a couple of pages long, and the whole class started laughing. And I thought they were laughing because I wrote it so good. And then I find out that they're laughing because it was size 72 font, green color Comic Sans, because the teacher said it should be easy to read. So I was like, this is hella easy to read. And my teacher was like, he let me get away with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, high school, all of those things were really hard. There were just so many things I didn't know and had to get through. And then the religious school, they would like beat the shit out of you all the time. So I'm like, 10-year-old kid, I'm like coming into school, and the teacher's like, memorized, recite this. And if I made a mistake, he would go to the bathroom, grab a plunger, take the red part of the plunger off, wash it under the sink, sprint back to me. We lovingly called him the Gujarati Hitler. And he would like come back. He would lift up my jeans to my knees, so my shins were revealed. And then he would take that thick wooden stick and just write on the shins.
That's crazy.
And that was like an average day at that religious school with like no knowledge. But
Bro, can you imagine that shit in today's world?
Yeah, it's a social media.
Shut
TikTok.
down
This school would be gone.
The TikTok would go crazy, if I dropped that.
Crazy.
But it became a really solid foundation for everything. I feel like that is something that when people listen to me, they're like, "Oh, this is a very sad part of my life." Those 4 years, it felt like prison at the time. But I felt like for me, that built a lot of hardship. And they actually made it really easy for me when I started doing other things in life. So, when I went to school, and I was sometimes like, because I was new to school, so I would get an F.
Yeah.
I thought that was the teacher marking me, and he was going to come and beat me up later in high school.
Yeah.
But I realized in America, like in high school, like nobody beats you up.
Yeah.
So I was so confused. I was like, how are
Oh,
you guys
you
getting
got your ass
anything
beat
done?
in Pakistan.
Actually, I got my ass beat in America.
Okay.
It was an American.
That's what I thought.
There was a religious school in America.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was like, well, how are you guys getting anything done when you don't get beat up? Like, how the fuck, why is anybody doing anything? So it was like crazy to me. But then later, when it came to doing things like YouTube, for example, I had my best friend at the time also doing YouTube with me. And we started, because I started learning coding. So I was like, let me just teach it, you know? And when I was teaching it, I would get like 2 subscribers in like 2 weeks of making YouTube content. He would get like 10 subscribers in a day, and he'd be sitting there and he's like, this is bullshit. Like, only 10 subscribers. And I'm like screaming in my underwear, running around the whole house. I'm like, I'm like 2 people from different parts of the world are watching my content. Like, I'm some kid from Pakistan that doesn't deserve anything. They're supposed to be getting beaten up right now. And I'm like, I have people watching my stuff and actually finding value out of it. I'm like, this is amazing.
What was the stuff that you were posting?
I started teaching coding
Yeah.
from what I was just learning.
Yeah.
Because I was learning at a slow pace, but I'm like, maybe there are other people that learn just like me.
Yeah.
So I started posting that. Fast forward a couple of months, I'm like 18 or 19. I'm sitting in my college class. And in this Python programming class that I was in, I started looking at the laptops of other kids. They're watching my YouTube tutorials to pass that Python class.
That's crazy.
And my professor starts coming up to me and asks me for career advice. And so at that point, I was like,
I'm in the wrong place.
I'm like, maybe I should take a semester off and just pursue YouTube and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would just see my YouTube, growing. It would be like somebody watched 2 hours of watch time on your channel. And I would be sitting there and going, I helped the world move forward by 2 hours. Like, somebody watched my coding content that I would have to physically teach people, or like through remote, or somebody has to teach me. They just watched it and I helped the world move forward by 2 hours. Then it became 50 hours and it became 100 hours. I'm like, I just helped the world move forward by a week. Of course I'm going to get paid for this one day. And so I became obsessed with that idea. And then I I took a semester off, never ended up going back.
That's usually how it goes, huh?
Yes.
I feel like most people that dropped out of college took a semester off.
Yeah. I think so.
I'll just take this one off. I'll be back in fall.
Never
happens.
It felt like I wasn't committing to like a really big thing. So it felt easy. And then I did that. And that's when I started growing my first business, which was Clever Programmer. And it was teaching people really how to code. And that channel just took off. I mean, it went from like 0 to like next month, 5,000 subscribers. Month after that, like 10,000 subscribers. And it just started growing fast. And I just forced myself to make all my money from the YouTube channel. And so I stopped coaching
So no paid marketing, nothing, just all organic YouTube.
Yeah. I didn't even
and
know
then
what
were you selling? You were selling a recorded program or like a live coaching?
Once I learned about marketing, like I started looking up Ramit Sethi and all these guys, and I started learning, you can sell courses and stuff like that. I learned about Pat Flynn, and then I started. I launched a course. I think I launched my first course on New Year's of like 2017. So like right when it turned 2017, I believe. We did like $400 on my first launch, $500. I couldn't believe it that there were people who would pay for my course. And then, a couple of months later, I hired a consultant who was teaching me marketing. And then we did a launch that did like $20,000. And then we did another launch and it did like $150,000. It was like insane.
No, that's insane.
And some random kid, like for me, I mean, it was unlimited amount of money. It got to my head really fast.
For sure. Well, what are the lessons you learned from it getting to your head? And honestly, bro, there's an important lesson here because I feel like we work with a lot of course sellers, to be honest. And they get not our guys specifically, but in general, course sellers get like a shit rep.
Yeah.
And thanks to Miami and Lamborghini dealerships, right? Like in general. But like, I don't know, for me, like I literally was way more educated from courses that I bought after college than I ever was from my entire marketing degree in university. And like, what you're saying is like so important. Like you viewed it as like, I'm saving people time. Like I'm moving the world forward into the future. Yeah. And it's really just like mass content distribution.
Yes.
You know what I mean? With a paywall. Like, and I think obviously there's a large bunch of people who just like, oh, I can make money selling shit online. And then they go sell shit online. And then like, it's almost flipped. It's like, okay, how can I make money doing this? I'm going to just do this as my main business versus like the natural progression of like, dude, I'm educating people for free. I'm saving them time. I'm making them money. Why can I get paid for this?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then naturally progressing into that, my point is like there's so much good that happens in the online education space and courses and coaching and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we built what we built because of it. We coach hundreds of agencies because of it, right? Like these are agencies who also have employees, who also have clients.
You started with info stuff, or you started with the service-based stuff?
No, I started with the service-based stuff, and I made a lot of businesses a lot of money. I was running ads in 2015, and then in 2019.
You started in 2015?
Yeah, 2014 was my first ad. 2015 was like actually doing it for people.
Wow.
2017, I started like taking on other clients that weren't like family businesses and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then 2019, I dropped my first like marketing program, and it was because everyone was like asking me on Instagram because like I was like decently popular in college, so I built a pretty good following on Facebook. Yeah. More than Instagram at the time. Facebook was like big. Now I don't even have a Facebook. Fucking ban me.
Me too. Like my account got shut down because of some bullshit.
My most valuable asset, and like also I'm posting on Instagram every day. Like fuck you, just give me my Facebook back. Anyways, long story short, I basically did the same thing. I launched from like my parents' bedroom. Like did this huge launch, whatever. I made like 10 grand, and that was like the first like I showed my mom, and she's like, "Are you selling drugs? What's going on?"
Wait, 2017 or 2015?
No, it was 2019. I was making decent money monthly at the time because I was freelancing, but like never through like a recorded course.
Interesting.
Not like, oh, I'm gonna sell this thing and then I don't have to do anything after I sell it. Yeah. And then like people were like, "This is the best fuck." Dude, to this day, we still sell that same course.
That was like your version of 67 steps.
Dude, it's just like such good marketing foundation because like I was so in the weeds at the time, like that it's like timeless. You know what I mean? It's
do you give it to your internal company members now or no?
Yeah, we do. But like the ads manager stuff is outdated. Like it looks different and stuff, but like the concept of like how we think through marketing, how we run ads, how we write copy, like it's all the same stuff still.
Because like Dan Kennedy's stuff, you know, for old school copywriting, I feel like so much of it still applies. Like a lot of those old
most of it
still applies.
Yeah, it's just like a different medium of distribution.
Yes.
Some of these guys used to teach mail, right? But now it's just like ads on Facebook or whatever it is, right? So it's just different. But yeah, I mean, good for you. So you started selling education, and then it turned into serious business, it sounds like.
Yes, it turned into serious business.
This is pre-course sellers getting shit on online too.
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of like negativity.
There
wasn't people flexing Lambos,
drifting and all that bullshit.
Yeah, I think Ty was like the first Lambo flexer. You know what I mean?
In my garage.
Ty was.
Yeah.
Here's all my books, my endless knowledge.
Dude, I love Ty. I learned so much from him.
Ty's done a lot of good.
I don't know him in person. Yeah. You probably have met him, but I've never met him. But I've learned a lot from his content. And so even the whole new controversy or drama that's happening, I have no idea if he did something wrong.
I think the controversy is he raised a bunch of money and then the businesses failed. And I was like, tell my friend, I was like, look, don't jump to conclusions of like how this went down until it goes down. But like at the end of the day, bro, anyone who's getting the responsibility of raising $100 million and doing something with other people's money, there's a risk that it's not going to work out. So like, barring any fraudulent situation where he took that money and bought his own jet or did some crazy shit like that that other people have done, like you can't really fault the guy for trying to go buy all these drowning businesses and flip them around. All of you guys also bought into that vision.
Yes.
And if he actually tried to do it and tried to make it happen, it just didn't work. Like, I don't see that as fraudulent personally. You know what I mean? It's like, that's an investment you guys made and he tried to make it work and it didn't. He probably wanted it to work just as much as you guys. It's probably $1 billion for him if he makes it work. You know what I mean? So
that's true. Yeah, and I personally got value from all my virtual interactions with him. You know, whatever stuff that I watched, I was oh, this is actually good stuff. You know, a lot of great stuff on psychology, and he goes very deep into those things. So, and then now he's like kind of coming back on social media, and he's always doing funny shit. Like him and I like a lot of similar type of brain rot content, so I'll always see his like on the thing, and I'll always see him commenting on those things too. And it's just the funniest thing. I'm like, this can't be a social media manager. Like, this has to be fucking Ty. He's sitting there watching this dumb content. And it's hilarious to me because I'm like, sometimes feeling like, I'm like, why do I watch this content? You know, I'm a CEO of this company. And then I'm like, and I'll see Ty there. And I'm like, okay.
I feel like that all the time. I totally understand. So 150K biggest launch, or kept getting bigger?
That was a big launch at that time.
Yeah.
And then it kept getting bigger. So then, you know, years passed, we kept growing the company. you asked me what were the hard lessons that I learned during that time when things started getting to my head. So for me, it was infinite amount of money. 150K, 300K while I'm living with my parents. I have no expense.
Right. At the time, I couldn't even imagine making that a year.
It was infinite money.
Yeah.
And so for me, I just like thought I was, everything I touched turned to gold. I became like really cocky. I worked hard, but I bragged harder. And then I just started traveling the world. I started dating everybody. Like and then what happened is a lot of my team members just started leaving because they were uncared for. I stopped paying, like I wasn't even taking care of like paying my rent or whatever. And so I came back from traveling like Bali and all these other countries, going to all these different masterminds, making all these friends. And I came back and almost my entire team had left. Only one person that was like my right-hand person. Her name is Rachel. Shout out to Rachel. I always called her like the protector of my realm. She like protected the entire business herself at the time. And she basically told me at the time, I was at a Grant Cardone conference. I went to Miami, 10X. And I remember she called me and she's like, Qazi, I'm going to be leaving. And I heard that and I'm like.
I was at that same event. I
really?
think so, in the stadium.
2018 or something? Yeah, it was a stadium. Yeah. It was like really hard to hear. It was like outdoors or something.
Impossible.
And I was like,
I was in a baseball stadium. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dude, what? That's insane.
Ty spoke at that event.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember if Ty, like what I did is I go to these events, I get sick of them, and I just leave and I start working. I'm like, fuck this shit.
I do the same thing.
I just started shooting content.
Yeah, I'm the same.
So what the hell's the point of this thing? So I was at that event. I came out. Rachel called me. She's like, I'm gonna be like quitting. I was like my heart just fell into my like balls, bro. I'm like, dude, this is frightening because if she leaves, I'm done. I'm cooked. Because I was like a kid with money.
Yeah.
Not a lot of it. Not that I look back, but it felt like a lot. And I'm like, if she leaves, I don't even know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll get my act together. I'm like, please just give me a chance. Don't leave. Like, I'll just get my shit together. And after that time, I kind of just swore to myself, I virtually put on war paint, wore a black bandana. And I was like, I'm locking in. Like, I am just working. And after that, I just, I went hard into the business. That was a hard time, but we turned it around.
What was your biggest year in that business financially?
That year, 1.7 million.
Nice.
Yeah, we
All
launched
organic too, right?
Most of it organic, some of it ads.
Okay. Oh, so you did run ads.
I did run ads. Yeah, there was one ad that I made that I'll show you guys at some point, but like it went viral, like it went crazy viral. Yeah. Like we got 100 million impressions on, or like views on it. Oh. People started recreating in like e-com agencies and stuff.
Yeah.
So that business like started doing well. We launched a coding boot camp, so we started selling that for like 15K. And then the hardest thing that I've ever gone through ended up happening within that business, where out of a big cohort of people, like we had hundreds of people graduate from our boot camp and they got jobs at companies like Spotify, Netflix, Quora, Amazon, like all the big tech companies.
Yeah.
But then we had like 10 or 15 people that were not happy with the program. Like one of our instructors at the time had like a heart palpitation problem, so he quit. And then we couldn't really find a replacement, and that cohort ended up having problems. So those guys sued us. We pretty much had no money left over. Like we would never have any money left over. Even if we made 300K, we would spend 320K.
Yeah.
My anxiety was at an all-time high. I basically told the team, like for a month I couldn't pay them. So a lot of the team members had to leave. They left. And then, that lawsuit ended up, I was like dealing with I was going to pay the lawsuit. I was going to figure it out. I went and met Alex Hormozi actually at that time. I did dinner with him and Layla. This was right before they blew up. So he made an Instagram story. I saw it.
I remember it was like 50K for a dinner or something. Is that
no, he wasn't even charging at that time. This was right before he blew up.
Oh,
so
really?
He was actually not huge. He made a story. He's like 3 entrepreneurs that are making over $1 million a year. Let's have a dinner tonight. And I was like, how can I have it tonight? He wasn't in Nevada, but he was
in Texas. Wasn't he in Austin?
Austin, that's right.
I remember this post.
That's right. Yeah. He said, I'm in Austin. And I was like, oh, man, I can't go there. I'm in LA, and it happens tonight. And so I was like, and then I saw one person booked it. And he's like, one person booked, Then like half an hour later, he's like 2 out of 3 booked. And I was like, damn. But I'm like, wait a minute. Like, fuck that. I'll figure out a way to go. And I was like, I could just take a flight. And I just messaged him. I'm like, dude, I have a business. It does over $1 million a year. Like, can I come? He's like, he put it on his story. He's like, the third spot is filled. Like, so he reserved it. And then I booked the flight. I ran and told Naz, I'm like, dude, I'm flying to meet like Hormozi. And he didn't even know who he was. I was like, oh, cool. I flew right away. And then I met them. And Layla and Alex both gave me great advice. They said, refund the guys. It was supposed to be a $90K refund. And he said, they're like, literally take out a loan or something from a bank, refund them. And I was like, we've already provided 5 months of service and like 12 hours a week. Like, why should we do this? And we were like kind of standing strong.
Yeah.
Terrible idea, by the way.
Why?
Because so they started a lawsuit against us.
Yeah.
Then when I went to the lawyers, their lawyers were like not negotiating. And then what they did to put pressure on us is they leaked it to their like local news media. The local news media covered it.
From their standpoint, obviously.
From their standpoint. And it was like really small channels. You know, those guys probably get like 100 views.
Yeah.
But what happened was I ended up seeing it. And so for me, it's like building up so much psychological pressure. I'm like, the first time I'm on TV is like, they're literally calling me a scammer. They just have videos of me. And then they're showing impact statements from these guys. Like I ruined their lives when last week, these guys were on a Zoom call with me, happily learning.
Yeah.
And these guys are like making these statements.
That's crazy, yeah.
And I could not believe what is happening before my eyes. There were 2 people that deserved a refund. The other 10 just jumped in because they were like, oh, we can make our money.
Yeah.
And then what happened is YouTubers found it. They picked up this thing. And my own like colleagues that would make coding content alongside me that never fucking recognized me. I did 8 years of work in this industry. I have thousands of hours of YouTube content teaching you things like how to make Instagram in one video, live, how to make Uber Eats in one video, live, how to make Facebook. 6-hour-long live streams. And these streams got like hundreds of thousands of views and people built so much. None of these guys ever commented like, he helped me. He helped me. Or like none of these guys said, oh, we're very proud of Qazi in this industry. You know, my peers that were making coding content, that were big YouTubers, never even acknowledged that I existed. People that were my heroes, bro. Like I'm sure there are people who you're their hero in marketing.
Yeah.
Okay? And imagine you never acknowledge they exist even if they're crushing it. But then when they saw this post, they all started covering. Oh, like I had a feeling that this guy is doing this.
That's crazy.
I'm like, these guys were my heroes. What is happening? And so those videos were getting like hundreds of thousands of views. Like, and it just went and turned into this viral thing. And so that pressure just became crazy for us.
Was it strong enough to end the business?
It wasn't strong enough to end the business. I pivoted, and I actually, that was probably the hardest period of my life because I thought either I'm going to go to jail or my life's going to get destroyed. Then I learned
like my reputation's gone forever.
My reputation's gone forever. And, I woke up to a thumbnail, bro, and my friend sent me. A friend is like, have you seen this video? It's a thumbnail of me wearing an orange jumpsuit at a prison fucking cell.
That's crazy.
And like, so my anxiety just spiked so high.
Yeah, and you're young and like afraid of shit and like.
Yeah. And so I saw this and I was like, can't believe that this is happening. But we eventually just like, I figured it out. I tell these guys, my lawyer was a dumbass too. He just kept instigating their lawyers and kept causing a fight because it's in his incentive for us to fight.
Yeah.
So I told my lawyer, like, I'm just going to go. I went directly to the plaintiff's lawyers. I actually told them, like, you guys are actually amazing. I'm like, I'd love to actually hire you guys after we do this. I even take a coffee because I'm like, you guys win. What does it take to end this today? I'm like, if we don't end it today, I'll fight you to the fucking death. Like, I'll take years on this shit because my reputation is already ruined. So I'm like, I don't care. So yeah, I went to the lawyers, handled the deal, paid the lawyers, ended up paying $300,000. The guys only got $90,000, the refund that was owed. Lawyers ended up making like $200,000.
That's crazy.
And so they made so much money off of it.
Seems like they deserved it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they were working hard, tremendously hard. The smearing campaign was amazing. So at that point, we pivoted because we're like, at this, I don't want to do this boot camp thing anymore. It's too much liability. Like, I don't want to deal with this. So blockchain was going crazy in those days. It was 2021, something like that.
Yeah.
It was going insane. So we started closing deals with like one of our first companies was Solana. And we ended up doing a partnership with them
for coding?
Yeah, to educate people on their platform. So instead of charging our customers, we're like, why don't we go do deals with these companies? So we closed.
So it basically transitions from coaching to media.
Exactly.
Like, hey, we give views.
And then-
Let's just have these guys sponsor us.
Exactly.
And
And people were so happy because people are like, oh, these guys are not charging anything for this insane content, free content that we're just putting out. But then we're closing like a $500,000 deal with like one company, a $300,000 deal with another company. That ended up being actually our most profitable year, a Clever Programmer. But ultimately, like me and my co-founder, Naz actually helped me build Clever Programmer.
Yeah.
He worked closely with me. But eventually we were like, you know what? This is great, but we are software developers. Let's actually build a software company. And so we ended up shutting that company down. We ended up we broke up with our girlfriends. We ended up moving to San Francisco, and we're just like, let's just go all in and build a company from scratch.
So what was the
That's
first
how
one you
Poppy-
actually built? Was it Poppy?
Like as a software company?
Yeah.
Poppy was our first software
But it
company.
wasn't called Poppy? Was it called something else?
It was called Poppy. It started last year.
Okay.
Yeah, it started very
Okay.
recently.
I heard 2021. So in my head, I'm like, okay.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I did Clever Programmer until like 2023-ish or whatever. It's almost 2024.
And then by then AI started becoming like a thing, right?
AI was becoming a thing.
OpenAI started becoming a thing and became more mainstream.
Became more mainstream. And for us, it was just like, dude, we want to build a software company. We just don't want to do this much anymore. Like teaching is great, but it's like a fighter, like if you're a fighting coach, most of the fighting coaches are like out of shape and whatever because they're not fighting. But ultimately their dream is like to fight kind of. That's why they live through the other fighters. And so for us, it was like that. We were becoming like the overshaped, like out of shape coaches teaching developers, but we're like, let's actually put our money where our mouth is and like build something ourselves.
So why'd you build Poppy? Like, what was the solution that you were solving for essentially?
So we built Poppy because I needed something for content creators that could help me personally, because one person, Cliff Weitzman, he runs Speechify and they have hundreds of millions of users. One thing I learned from him was amazing, and he basically told us, forget about product market fit, work on product founder fit. So build something that you actually use for yourself. So Poppy happened because I had, copywriting problems with my own, like I would have these YouTube videos and I would try to tell copywriters to just turn them into copy and then we can email them, but they would always do some weird shit. And I'm like, what are you guys like messing up?
Yeah.
And so initially it was a copywriting tool. And it was very helpful for me. And we gave it out to a bunch of like our close friends who were YouTubers. They loved it and were using it. So it started out as a solution for copywriters. It kind of eventually pivoted into for content creators because this amount of people who were using it for content was way more than the people that were using it for copy.
Yeah.
And so we now just lean hard on that angle. We don't even say ever for copywriting anymore.
Yeah.
We just say it's for content creators. And at this point, our goal is to help 1 million content creators and business owners build generational wealth with AI. Because you have content creators that know how to make content, but they don't know how to make money with it.
Yeah.
Then you have the business owners that don't really know how to make content that well. They're very good at ads. They're good at other things, but they're not good at content. So this tool is really designed to solve that problem, to marry those two. And so a lot of our people are business owner type of people that have courses and things like that. So, I'm sure Aiden Ross.
Yeah.
So those type of streamers, or maybe even your brother, Arab, who streams, Poppy is not really a good tool for some of them, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not good for Aiden, but and I'm thinking about it, actually would be good for your brother because he does these big research things and he puts them together. Poppy would be unbelievable for helping him put all his research together. It'd be a great tool for Johnny Harris, for example. But for a lot of streamers and stuff, it's not. Who it is really good for is somebody who has a course or a product or a service and they want to use content to sell. This is perfect. Because most streamers don't even have the money, or most regular content creators don't even have the money to buy a $400 a year AI product.
Yeah.
So that demographic of Ali Abdaal, people like Vanessa Lau, people like Matt Gray, they love it. And then, Trent, you're here. You're using it as a marketer. And for people who are marketers.
Yeah, how are you using it for clients?
So for us, it was like we kind of talked about earlier, is the disconnect from what they see is this is right to how do we turn this into action, right? And so for us, you have multiple pieces of the puzzle on our end. You've got the media buyer, you've got the strategist, you've got the landing page builder, you got the person that does go high level.
Yeah.
And what we typically found in the beginning is that either it's me manually going in and doing these and trying to use my thought process, but time was my biggest constraint. And so what I found out is I can build it all from start to finish, all at one run, and everything will be cohesive. So for our ads, for example, one of the biggest, and this is like true to this day, you could have a banger creative, fantastic creative. If your copy doesn't speak to that offer, to that creative, it still underperforms.
Yeah.
And on the same way as the landing page, so say you have a really, really high CTR on your video, they get to the landing page and then it just dies. You're like, I don't understand. I had a fantastic video. We're getting really good results data-wise on Meta. Why are we getting this disconnect? And a lot of the time it was because the copy didn't really speak to that specific offer. So say you have a really great offer. The video is great. The copy is great. Well, then guess what? That copy still has to be connected into the landing page. The same way, the same verbiage, the way we're putting it out there, the emotional side behind it. And what we typically did at the beginning is we had like what we call like a templated style offer. So like say you come in for one service, we already have a template and unbounce for that landing page. And then like I was telling you guys, the dev would do is he'd go into the client's website to find out the information about the client.
Yeah.
So he'd go in and say, here's their about section. We'll take some info from that. Here's their services section. We'll take some info from that.
Yeah.
But what I was finding was that each part of the process has some variances. So the strategist has one idea. She doesn't actually write that part of it down. She just has it in her head.
Yeah.
So she writes down a couple of things.
Yeah.
It goes on to the next person. She skips out on one of the coolest things that her brain conceptualized because she didn't have time to do it.
Yeah.
It goes to the next person. That same thing happens. They get 75% of it, miss a couple of things. And like I told you, so it started 100% at me. And then as it went down the chain of command to these different people,
Yeah.
by the end, the variances were huge. So it's like, it's only 5% here. But if you keep doing that, over time, the last person is like, you look at this and you're like, did you even look at the video? Like, I'm confused. Where's the disconnect? Hold on, I wrote you the... And so for Poppy, for me, it was, how can I take not just giving one thing? So like ChatGPT, we'd go in and be like, we're going to get, just the copy. But then I'd have to come back and be like, all right, well, now I got to get on another call and teach the guy how to shoot this the way that I want him to.
Yeah.
Then I have to get on another call with the media buyer and make sure that she understands what's important for this and what's not.
Yeah.
So all of those things was time.
Has Poppy helped your clients generate any revenue yet or not yet?
Oh, bro, 100%. The email, and like, I'm not even kidding you, the email and SMS side alone, right now, and this is across, I've probably sent out about 50 different batches.
Yeah.
So these are just reactivation. So we're not even diving into like the day-to-day. We're talking just sending out to a mass group of people.
Yeah.
My lowest return on an email and I would say the max amount of clients that I've sent so far is about 15,000 people, to kind of give you perspective.
Got it.
The average client, we send about 2,000 to 3,000 SMS and email at the same time.
Yeah.
The lowest return that I've gotten is $22,000 off of a single set.
Wow.
Whoa.
One text message, one email to one client or to one lead.
That's incredible.
And the craziest part, so this is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Now every client that comes on, as part of like our onboarding, I pray that they have a CSV. Because when they do, before the ads literally even go live, they're making money.
Yeah.
And they don't understand it. They're like, what just happened? Like, why bro, we'll have people that'll come in, they'll have a CSV, they'll have leads from 4+ years ago. We put them into that go high level. I create the campaign, just like literally basic, email, SMS, single message.
Yeah.
Send it out. The guys' ads are not even published yet, bro. The editors are still working on the background.
That's very,
And he's like already closing leads. So imagine you pay a marketing company. And for some of these guys, the price is daunting. Like what we talked about earlier, some of them are maybe 1 or 2 people that work at a business.
Yeah.
So they come in and they say, I see the retainer. Then I know I have to commit to this ad spend. Like it could be on the low end, $4,000 in my month.
Yeah.
Imagine you come in and on day 1, you've made 15 grand, 20 grand. You're never leaving them.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, these guys just made me 20 grand in a day. I've never had that. And like a lot of them literally have never had that happen in their business ever.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm using it. For the copy side of it, I'm like, bro, the amount of copy that I can put out today it's like almost crazy, because like I feel like my team like almost doesn't believe how fast I can get it done.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we have, it just literally, account manager jumps in, hey, I just talked to him, here's his offer. I'm like, cool, write it down, give me all the details, send it over to me in a task and ClickUp. Within an hour, I come back to him and I'm like, here's 60 different copy versions. Here's your shot list. Here's 5 different videos that you're going to be shooting. Here's the different hooks he's going to be
that's
shooting.
incredible.
And he's got it all back to him. And then we send it back to the client, 2 hours later. And he's like, oh, I didn't know y'all are like that. You know? So the email SMS side has been killer, without a doubt. That's where the most money has been made.
And you found that consistently true, where 60% of it is coming from email and like about 40% is coming from SMS?
100%. And let me preface that by saying, before this happened, we rarely sent emails.
Interesting.
From my understanding.
So you actually opened up a bigger bucket of revenue, because the email is like bringing in
They didn't touch it. None of my clients, bro. Right now,
it's kind of mind blowing that email still works. Like in today's,
extremely well.
It's insane.
Dude, I'd say, correct me if I'm wrong, Eddie, one of our best departments, probably entire company, other than info, is email. Like, they just constantly, bro.
Email
like the
crush.
numbers, like we do like a monthly stand up call with everybody in the entire company.
Client LTV is like years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I always hope that I don't go after them. Right. So like each department comes in at the once a month, entire company comes together.
Yeah.
And the head of each department comes forward with what we call a dub. Right. So it's like, let me celebrate this one win that our department has. I always hope that I don't come after email, because their email is just like, they're killing it.
Their wins are like insane.
Part of what I did from that is like, I keep seeing them winning. Our client base, if you literally go ask my clients like, hey, what do you do for email? They're like, we don't. Like that's the answer. Yeah. They don't do it at all. If it's not automated, they're not touching it. And even if it is automated, they do the one and then they never manually step in again. Yeah. And like even on beyond that, they wouldn't even respond to people even if they did email. So I'm looking at their returns and I'm like, wait, what? They're making that kind of money off an email? Like, will this actually work for us? And so then I started doing these blasts. So then I did one. I'm like, okay, 15K, that's a win. Second one, 20K, that's a win. And we kept doing it. And finally, I've gotten to the point now where it's like, the guys come to me, they're like, hey, we got whatever holiday is. I've already built out, bro, probably like the next 20 different major holidays. Already have templates for the team.
Oh, that's
and sick. Then all they do is go in and they just input the details of like, it'll like have like a little holder, like offer here, number here,
that's
link to whatever it is here.
Yeah.
So they can just go in and we can get these things out instead of now.
So your team is using like ClickUp to do this, or they're using, okay.
Yeah, so I built the template, give it over to them and ClickUp. Here's the Halloween template that we're running. And then all they do now is reach out to the client. Hey, I've already got everything written for you. I just need the offer.
Interesting. Wow.
So he gives them the offer. It comes back to the dev. They already have everything else they need. We have it set up within 20, 30 minutes and go high level.
Oh, that's genius.
So I can just rinse and repeat really fast, but still keep the branding of a business. That's the key thing that was like.
What do you find when people work with you guys? Do you find that they eventually like they do it for 3 to 6 months and then they build an internal team? Or do they like work with you guys and just like
everyone's different?
Yeah, they're all different.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people think like working with a marketing agency is a temporary solution or less effective than someone full-time because of hours. What they don't realize is like resources and skill is just significantly higher. So like, why do I have to put 40 hours into your business if I could do in 10 what someone else does in 40? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
that's true.
And so they have this misconception. So some positions they try to hire in-house, but then they realized for the price that they were paying the agency, they were getting much more skill than what they have. I mean, like I'll give you an example, email team, right? If you were to hire a full-time email person in your company, let's just call it $6-7 grand a month, right? Then you have to hire a designer because he can't design, but he's really good at planning emails and tech. So like then you get a designer, then you get, and then you also have to manage them.
Yeah.
Or you pay an agency $7K a month. They do a significantly better job. They have way more resources. They have a full team of 6-7 people on your account. They can do every problem, fix deliverability, whatever the case is, right? So I think the smarter business owners who can afford to outsource things like that, because it's not necessary to have full-time employees, you know, but I think the ones who like are a little bit more novice.
What did you say? So would you say like it also depends on the agency, right? Because
of course. That's like saying employee though. It's like it depends on the employee. It's the same thing, right?
That's true.
Assuming things are going well.
Yeah.
We still have people who we're doing amazing for, and they're like, oh, I'm going to try to do it in-house for myself because they're trying to save like $1,000.
And then they probably will just come back or something.
Yeah. And I mean, some of them leave access to their accounts and we see the revenue drop. But we had a client fire us like 4 months ago because they brought in a new chief growth officer, revenue officer, whatever. And like, he wasn't doing his job. So its easiest scapegoat is like the marketing company sucks. So he fires us, and I watched their revenue on the screen go from $4.5 million a month to $1.3 million a month.
$4.5 million a month.
Yeah, to 1.3 in 60 days.
Wow.
What was their industry?
I can't say. I'm not going to say. Just yeah. But like, think about that.
Yeah.
For what? Because he was paying us a bonus that was coming out of our entire retainer for him was maybe $35K a month, and we are doing a bunch of shit. But like, think about the loss of $3 million a month. It was 1%.
That's a lot.
You know what I mean? Of what he was making. So
yeah,
sometimes the decisions don't go in their favor. And bro, if someone respectfully breaks up with us, like, we'll always take them back. Like,
you guys should have a reactivation campaign for everybody whose revenue drops after the stop working. If it drops,
I wish we
below,
could track it, right?
It's like, hey, well, I'm thinking about you.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it works out. Sometimes they get people, and again, like, I don't want anyone to fail. They have employees. They have all these things. Like, I never want someone to fail. You know what I mean? But like, if you're disrespectful to us when you leave and you do it in a super shady way, and like, it's just not the right way to do it,
Then you
I'm
don't
never
wanna.
going to take you back.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, if you do, like, I tell my clients, I'm like, bro, if it doesn't work out, we're still in business whenever you're done. So, we're here. So sometimes prices go up. That's just business. You know what I mean? But overall, yeah. And so, I mean, Poppy's helping you out, right?
Yeah. Like I told you, I literally get to the end by like the 18th, 20th of every month. I'm like, I start getting a little like, I gotta ration these. I gotta ration my credits out, bro. Like, what's really the highest value? What's the thing that I can move like the most? Because I get to that limitation. And
you're
that's
on
just
the
me.
you're on the regular plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, that you're getting a lot done on the regular plan.
Then that's what I told you. I've had to like work it backwards. The biggest thing that's changed for me though is like I'll do the same thing where I'll get, instead of giving a 30-minute video, one thing that like maybe I'm different than a lot of other people, because I have seen that other people do just go and add like whatever. Like they type in like how to run ads, and then they just find like the top 10 most viewed videos and they drag it in.
Yes.
I watch everything. I want to make sure that like it's actually valuable for this thing to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is when I go into Poppy, I'll pull it and be like, hey, just take minutes 3 to 8. That's the most important thing for you to focus. So I'm not having a 30-minute video using more credits. I'm literally just taking the most valuable pieces of that video for it to learn from. But for like content creation, for our clients in general, bro, the ability for me to not have to sit there every single time, because ultimately it would always come back to me. It never failed. I'm a very creative person. I love to make videos. Like even though it's not my job, I just enjoy doing it. So I was super picky. Like the editors hated it when I was doing their reviews, because like I'd come in and be like, "There's a glyph here." I'd catch like the smallest thing. They're like, "Bro, no one's gonna see that." I'm like, I saw it. Fix it. It's just how I am. So for me to be able to go into a client who has no idea how to do this, like imagine you're literally talking to someone who has never held a camera before in their life.
Yeah.
And you have to get them to not only just record something, but record something that's going to make them money. And ultimately their ability to do that impacts me.
Like the business owners, right? Yeah.
If he makes a shitty video, it doesn't matter how good of a marketer guy I am. I can put as much money behind it as possible. So I can give them everything. Literally, I'll give you a prime example of this. Okay. Obviously, we're not in Canada. I have a client in Canada, in Toronto. And I go in, and the first thing I did, same thing we talked about, do the prompt writer board, built him his own board. From there, I did not give it any information other than just like, here's where he's located, okay? I went in and started pulling pain points. His specific service is paint protection film. So it's film that you put on a car, stops it from rock chips, that kind of stuff.
Got it.
I write a ton of scripts for this guy. Hadn't even had a chance to review them yet. One of my account managers picks it up, sees that I'm done with it, didn't come in and check in with me, and sends them over.
Interesting.
And I'm like, fuck, I didn't get a chance to read them, bro. Like, hopefully they're right. The guy calls me, and he's like, bro, how do you know what the QEW is? I'm like, what? He's like, the QEW. And I'm like, looking at her like, I don't know what that is, bro. And he's like, you wrote the copy for it? And I was like, what is it? And he's like, bro, it's the like most busy road near us. He's like, I cannot believe that you like thought to know the name of the road. That's like where people drive down. And I was like,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I came up with it all by myself.
Conceptual. It was Poppy.
Yeah.
But it literally was picking up. So all I did was essentially give it like the locations. So like, here's your highest earning places in the city.
Yeah.
And then from there, it picked out places in the city that like, people talk about or drive down. So like, for example, here we have Interstate 75. If you know 75, everyone in Atlanta knows 75. 75 and 285 are like the worst places you want to be in a car, especially during like business time. Like, you're 7 to 9 o'clock and then again, like 4 to 6.
Right.
It's hell. That's the same type of road where he's at. So
Interesting.
what it was calling out was like these different things. So like the business district. I don't know anything about Toronto's business district. It was calling out the roads, bro, that people were like
That's
drive their
fascinating.
cars on. The shops.
It's like
that they
hyper
typically go to.
specific copy
100%.
that you
And
needed.
the video was doing it too. So like,
Because those
instead
are the
of
type of videos where even if they get less views, they'll get much higher conversions.
the
Because people are like,
quality
yo,
of the
what the
conversion
hell?
is where the biggest jump is
Right.
what I'm seeing.
This is the
I could
thing I
still
love.
get a $15 lead,
Yeah.
but that $15 lead a week ago was just a general lead. This one is super educated and is coming from a super niche type of place. So
Right.
it's like that guy that goes to the business center, that goes to this one tech area. He's the one that's like jumping into it. So his average client, his average ticket, all of it starts going up. You know, it's not just
Fascinating.
like he's getting a ton more leads. The lead count is about the same, but the actual quality of that person is significantly different.
Yeah.
And it's because it's speaking to that person instead of just generally saying like, hey, do you want to buy this? It's like, let me call you out on literally, I know where you're driving. And then they see that and they're like, I'm literally on the road getting called out on this thing.
Yes.
It's going to answer more. Like it's going to
It's going to get way higher response rate. Yeah. This is the thing, like I feel, I mean, when you're saying this, it's very exciting for me because the thing I find fascinating about product and a software, because I never could get this type of thing with info product, you know? You've done also a lot of info product.
Yep.
And you can share your thoughts on it too. It's just like, for me, when I was teaching people courses, it's hard to get that big breakthrough moment for them, or it takes longer. And it's also for a small set of people because it depends so much on them. Whereas a software can just do it for you. Like, for example, how you just made the scripts for this client and he's so happy and he finds these scripts to be so hyper specific. That's the thing I've really found to be exciting about a product. I don't have to, people can just see the results for themselves. It's almost like giving somebody a car or something.
Yeah. I mean, I first started using it in March, and for, you know, all our emails, VSLs, funnel copy, it makes the entire process just so much easier because you don't have to like go and manually write, you know, all these emails or go even just like webinar presentations, like having to, or being able to whip up all the copy for 400 slide presentations instead of having to go and spend, you know, 4 days like going through that process. Just so much more.
I've been using it recently for our case studies. Going
Really?
in, so
How
I'll
so?
have a video call with the client, and we'll cover all of the things from the beginning, right? Like,
Oh,
where do we
interesting.
start? And it's just using Fathom to record.
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I go back in and I say, I'm going to use, I think it's Gamma.AI to use the presentation.
Yeah.
I'm using Gamma.AI.
We're launching, we have a beta version of it behind the scenes, but we have integration with Gamma as well that we're
There you
working
go.
on.
So
We're
that's
like,
what I'm using it disconnected,
It's
but
gonna kick ass.
I'll
Yeah.
give it the whole video and then essentially make sure that it knows like what are the most important pain points that the next person needs to understand, and it writes every bit of it for my presentation. So then all I'm literally doing, bro, is just, and it writes the code.
oh, that's
Then I
it.
just go to Gamma, copy and paste the code. It makes the exact thing, and then all I'm doing is just putting assets for like whatever he's talking about in there.
That's amazing.
So I can knock out 15, 20 slides of detailed information of like where he started to where he's at now, what are the problems that
Do you
he
know?
overcame.
Do you know Cleo Abram? So she does podcasts with like really massive people. So she had Sam Altman, she had Mark Zuckerberg, whatever, NVIDIA's guy, and then she has a couple of. So we ended up our marketing. He's our affiliate partnership manager. His name is Amanat. He's a genius. The one you were speaking with. So he's getting the biggest way we're growing Poppy is actually through affiliate marketing.
I was gonna ask you next thing, like how are you guys actually growing the software right now?
Yeah. So 70 to 80% of the growth is from affiliate marketing, and then other 20% is word of mouth. So for example, how one of your clients shared it with you, and then Amanda found out about it from you. That's our biggest growth. We tried so many different strategies. Like at the start, Poppy was just not growing at all. Like last year in May, we did like $500 in an entire month.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, we had a TikTok of this one girl talking about our product take off. And that one TikTok in 2 weeks made us $150,000 in revenue. So like Nas and I,
That's crazy.
yeah, we were going crazy. Like we could not believe it. We're in a tiny apartment and we're like 2 months away from probably going bankrupt.
Yeah.
And Nas and I were talking about like whose parents' basement are we gonna go and like sleep in? Because I'm like, worst goes to worst, we loved it so much, you know, we're like, it's okay, we'll just build from somebody's house. Luckily, this TikTok, like we were going after this affiliate approach because we had heard stories about other software companies like take off. This just goes crazy, and we just see $97 sales after sale. And it was like clockwork. Every 100,000 views, we would make $10,000. When she hit 200,000 views, we made $20,000. She hits 300,000 views, $30,000. It's the same TikTok. That TikTok grows to 1 million views, we've made $100,000. It ended up growing to 1.5 million views, and we make 150. So that blows up. And then we start repeating that process. We start getting a bunch of other affiliates and reaching out to them. And then they start making videos on Poppy. And on YouTube, it's even crazier. YouTube is like $1 equals 1 view. So meaning if we get 1,000, somebody makes a video for us and it gets 1,000 views, we make $1,000. We had Jason Cooperson. He made a video. It did 80,000 views. We made $80,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's recurring revenue too, right?
Annual recurring, yeah.
Recurring. Yes, annual. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all annual recurring.
Okay.
Correct.
Plus credits.
If somebody wants to buy an upgrade,
Yeah.
they can upgrade.
Yeah.
So we have higher plans.
Yeah.
They give you more stuff.
Yeah.
So like one of the plans gives you landing page access, but then it's like higher. And what's different how we did our software is like everybody does this monthly stuff or free trials. We just stayed away from that. We just charge you annual. So it funds us a lot and we don't need to rely on investors.
Yeah.
We've had a bunch of people come to invest. Like Iman Ghazi had a call with our team and they were like interested. But like we just love how we're growing it. We want it to be, I feel like even if we fuck up and do the dumbest things ever, if we just do this for the next 10 years, which we will, I find it almost impossible to believe it won't be $1 billion company.
Yeah.
There's 200 million creators. We have 7,000 creators. So we just have to get better at marketing it, which is why we got Sawyer. He's a genius. I mean, he's 21 and he's making $100,000 a month, like with his clients doing marketing. And he ended up picking us and like working with us as well. And like already we're building out the sales team because what we see is like the next big step. We're now at 500K a month consistently.
Nice.
And that's recurring. And then
how's it recurring if it's annual? Can you explain that to me?
So what's funny is I realized after 1 year, annual becomes actually like MRR because after the first entire year is
Everyone
over,
renews every month.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So like the January renews and the February renews. But when I'm saying 500K, I'm using it a little loosely because we're getting new customers and we're making 500,000 a month from new customers.
Oh, okay.
Right now.
That's huge.
Yes. And those annual bills are about to recur, like the big ones, because now it's November and around this time our things started picking up. So we're now starting to get the previous payment. So like, for example, in the next few months, our recurring will go up to like, just pure recurring will go up to like 200K or 300K a month.
Nice.
But
and people don't realize a year ago you were almost bankrupt. Like
we were almost
bankrupt. The swing.
This is the craziest swing we've ever had. Like for this company to go, the previous company, I took 8 years to get it to 1 point something million a year.
Yeah.
This company is already like 5 to 6 million a year. Also has a valuation at this point. Like I'm 100% sure because I've had a bunch of people in similar niches that were pre-money raised like 30 million or 50 million. So I just doubt that this company is already not going to have a valuation of like 50 million.
Yeah.
I know probably everybody says that about their company.
No, makes sense. I mean, 10x rev on a software makes sense.
Yeah. So
to sparkle some little AI terminology.
It is AI, Poppy.AI, there you go. So 20x multiple. But regardless, we're not planning to sell anytime soon. Like we just want to keep growing this thing. So the next big vision is to build a sales team, high ticket, because a lot of our affiliate deals, let's say we paid Ali Abdal or somebody, let's just use random people. Like we paid them 10K. They made us 10K back because they promoted the product. We break even. But if you have a sales team closing high ticket, now from that one deal, we're making 20 or 30 grand on the back end. So a high ticket sales unlocks growth on affiliate marketing for us and cold ads. And so that's our sprint that we're currently doing.
Yeah.
Sawyer, you've been helping us with that a lot.
Yeah, we have like a 30-day challenge. We're trying to collect $100,000 in the 30 days. We built out the sales team, finalized it, I would say about 2 weeks ago. We're 6 days into the challenge and we've done right around 60 grand so far.
Nice.
So I'm hoping to crush that goal for sure. But
sounds like you're gonna crush it just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking
6 days in, 60. I think you're.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then post that, kind of like really going hard on ads, because I think that's going to be one of the biggest leverage tools that's going to get this to.
I was going to say, I haven't actually ever had a single ad come across from you guys.
That's interesting.
Not one.
We had a lot of ads running. Now we have basically stopped the ads, because until we make the high ticket thing work, I don't want to put more money into marketing. But then, so as soon as this works, LTV is going to go from like, our LTV right now on average is $500. Once our high ticket is working, I think it's going to be like $2,000. We're going to like 4x or 3x. I think that's going to 2 or 3x the enterprise value of the company as well. Like if it's worth $50 million right now, I think after we have a solid back-end engine, which in the next 3 to 6 months we're going to have, is going to be crushing it, I think it'll be worth like $150 million. And then we're just going to go really hard on affiliate and cold ads.
Shouldn't you still raise a little money just to pin a valuation?
I would love to learn all that stuff, because I'll be honest, I'm like a dumb kid with that
Yeah, because
stuff.
here's how I look at it. So like, let's just say, you think it's worth whatever, 150, right? It's all subjective.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone has a different reason to value or devalue your business, right?
Yes.
But as soon as someone puts up $15 million for 10% of the business is now worth $150 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like everyone picks how much they want to pay for a house until someone pays for that house. Now that house is worth that much.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Until the house is actually sold, it's not ever worth that much. It's just a speculation.
Interesting.
So same for you. Like if you give up 10% to get 15 million or 10 million or whatever that valuation is at the time, now you've pinned the overall valuation of the company at 150. The downside is if you do it with a private equity firm, they want a 4x return minimum. So if you raise out 100 million, they basically won't let you sell until 400.
Yes.
So that's the downside. You know what I mean? So like, play it wisely. But I say if you're worth 50, you get to 100, you can sell 5-10% of this business just to pin it at we're worth 100 million.
Yeah.
I mean, you said you want to get to $1 billion, right?
Yes.
So like, I think that's like a very important first step. Otherwise, it's all speculation, right? Something happens in the future, business goes down. Now maybe you're worth 20 to someone because you declined, right? But hey, our last valuation was at 110. So we're not going to raise any money or sell for anything anywhere below that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So we're very torn. We've talked to a couple of founders that are like, oh, they have billionaires on their board that have invested.
Yeah.
But then I feel like those guys are not interested in the product at all because they just have so much money. They just invest and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Our belief is that the people that should invest should really like believe in the product.
100%. But it's also not that necessary, right? So like everyone has a different seat.
Yes.
He's a marketing guy, for example.
Yeah.
Is he going to go get you investors? Probably not. You know what I mean? So everyone has a different seat. I don't need to necessarily use your product or love your product to be on the board, because maybe my job on the board, example, is to go connect us with big firms that are going to eventually be the people that buy us.
Yes.
Right. So like my job's to prep us for an exit. I don't really care what Poppy does, to be honest. You know what I mean? I know what the numbers are, who the buyer should be, and that's my seat in the company. You get what I'm saying? So to an extent, what you're saying, yes, true. You want someone to obviously believe in it, right?
Yeah.
That's step one. But like 2, they don't need to be like users or super passionate about it like you guys are. Their seat and role might be different. You know what I mean?
So, okay. So how I was looking at investment is I'm like, we don't technically need the money because we're growing it profitably. I mean, sometimes we're breaking even, I'll be honest, like on 300, 400,000 a month, sometimes we're breaking even.
I get it. But bro, at the end of the day, like you always want to get money when you don't need money. It's a very important outlook because you're playing much different. When you need money, you're playing from a point of desperation. I need this money to make this happen.
Okay.
You're willing to sell for less. You're willing to do all these things. When you don't need the money is the best time to take the money because everyone will give you the money. And you don't need it. So you could be like, we're pricing it at fucking 110. Take it or leave it. We don't need your money. We're fine. We're self-sustainable. We're going to keep growing. But if you want to invest,
so then we can do good deals as well. We're not desperate. Now, I wanted to ask you this, like your thoughts on raising for just purely capital versus, and if you have to cut me off, it's fine, just let me know, versus like distribution, So for example, doing a deal with somebody like Diary of CEO or those types of people, I've heard conflicting advice on it. Some are like, forget that, go to a billionaire, they'll cut you a big check or they'll know like other billionaires or whatever. Like, versus my thought process is if we partner with creators, that would be really interesting because then it's not just that they're giving us money, but they're literally unlocking huge distribution. how do you think about those types of things? Like,
Yeah, I mean, we should take this offline so we can get much deeper and get more private with your info and stuff. But from my perspective, like you can work out deals with, so like the creators aren't going to be the best people who are going to give you money. It's going to be the people who have money. Okay. The creators are going to be the people who can bring you traffic, revenue, et cetera. So you can incentivize them with some sort of equity roll up based on revenue they've generated compared to revenue of the company or whatever it is. You can incentivize them differently to be a partner or have seats or whatever the case is. Yeah. But you want the people who have a ton of money who just, it's nothing to them. The upside is what's important to them. Yeah. Whereas a creator will come in and you probably might need to pull teeth to get $100,000 from him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas someone else might come in and just give you $5 million because he thinks his 5 is going to be worth 50 in 5 years. You know what I mean? Yeah. So those are the like different people, different roles. You know what I mean? And like in your case, you're not raising money for marketing.
Yeah. We would raise for development and product.
Yeah, so like so a creator can't really solve that problem for you, if that makes sense. So like I've been in companies where like, oh, why are we raising $5 million? Oh, because we need to run ads and get users. Okay, well, instead of $5 million, why don't we just go give creators equity of the same portion based on them generating revenue and results for us, and then we don't need the $5 million, and we should go get creators who can generate us way more than $5 million, and we value it at less, and now we give that same equity.
So I wanted to ask this, right? Like sometimes I feel like you can raise for just to raise and have the money. But I've heard different people's opinions. I don't know what the right answer is, but I feel like I want to have a very clear reason for what we're raising for and then raise. Because I'll tell you this, right now, the biggest bottleneck is my and Naz's skill of like the ability to hire more talent, like good talent quickly. So then even if we have money, the problem is like we have 1 million something in the bank right now. Yeah. But we even have trouble spending that because it's like we have to find the right talent to spend it on. Yeah. And so then I'm thinking, okay, well, how does that change if we have 15 million in the bank? Like we won't go any faster because we're still bottlenecked by our own ability to hire talent fast enough.
Let's take it offline.
Perfect.
All right, let's go to lunch. This is a good time to end it. But
perfect.
Hey, for everyone listening, if you guys are in the marketing space, if you're in the content space, if you're in any of these, if you own a business, Poppy.AI, great software to use. Links down below. Look these guys up. They're going to keep developing on the product. Our team loves them. They're probably the #1 AI software we use outside of like a chat GPT, which is just, common, normal day-to-day work. Thank you so much, guys, for flying in for the podcast, and excited to keep building this relationship together.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And if you guys also want to work with us,
click the link below.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much for watching another episode of the Bad Marketing Podcast. I hope you got immense value from it. And if you did, all we ask of you is that you share this with a friend that you think could find this very valuable. And depending on the platform that you're watching or listening to this on, please like, subscribe, or rate the podcast as best as possible. It really means a lot to us. We pour so much money, time, and effort into getting these guests here, filming all this, editing it, all for free just to give you free value. And all we ask in return is that you just share this with people. You give it a positive review so that we can continue to reach more people and impact more lives with all this effort that we're putting in. With that being said, thanks so much for tuning into the episode, and I look forward to continue to provide you more valuable content moving forward on the Bad Marketing Podcast. Make sure you subscribe.